Hey guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing good. I'm doing good as well. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yeah, if you're new here, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're returning, welcome. You're appreciated. So guys, I just went to my videos, my previous videos, and saw that I had made a video, but it didn't make it to the other videos on YouTube simply because I don't know what happened, but there was a lot of uploading issues honestly. Plus hiyo video ni funny cause ya vile nilikuwa nimeapa kukuwa consistent, but you see some of the things I stopped even being so hard on YouTube because it's a process. Only that hii process yangu may take so long. So and the video was about a story time on my episiotomy healing, an episiotomy healing down there after you've been cut while actually giving birth. So mine was a bit terrible, guys, and I've always, okay, you don't know because I didn't manage to put the video up there. So mine was a special one because fast forward to how I ended up having that thing. So I come from home to hospital during that day that I was giving birth to JJ, and happens that I was progressing on nicely despite my blood pressure being so high. So I was progressing haraka, so there was no need of maybe opting for another option, so I was to give birth normally. So comes that time, I'm almost 10 centimeters, but the pain is out of this world. So I took myself in the labor ward, like that room. And I was overreacting. I just wish there were cameras inside there to just tap into the, like, just view me for some few seconds and give that video to you guys, because I don't know, I was not myself. Like, you guys, that pain is usually something else. I know that I'm in nursing school, and I know that pain is rated from a scale of 1 to 10, and at that point I was at 9. I understand how I was behaving the same way I was behaving then. So so I lie on the table. They start adding CG word fluids so that the pain increases, and the contraction increases, and I end up pushing out the baby. So they still, so like, I'm so tired. Like, umsi ako amechoka cause I'll go up, I'll even shut up cause naongea nini, I don't want to exhaust my energy, so I'll shut up and they so like, we have to do an episiotomy. Already I knew what it was because I had done some research. I had done some background research during that day. So already I knew they were about to cut me, and let me tell you, I had that thing. They just did it. Was, I felt like I was a bit numb, but I had the whole process. So they cut it, and later they did the clots. They removed the clots. I also found out people like they remove those debris after few days to me giving birth, and trust me, I was also scared as you right now. So yeah, after the baby is out, what happens usually is the removal of clots. If hakuwezi kosa, so is basically removal of clots. So that happened. Oh, okay, so whatever happens is, one, you deliver the placenta, then there is removal of clots, and then if you've had an episiotomy, then there is the stitching. So all those happened. The placenta was removed. Actually, I didn't struggle with that one. I think it followed the baby. That was so automatic for me. Then came the now cleaning of clots. It was a bit uncomfortable, but I feel like I was okay now that the baby was out, because guys, that moment of just pushing out the baby is hectic. It's hell. Oh my god, it's hell or death. it's a hell on heaven because you receive the most innocent human being you can ever think of. So so the stitching happened and I was okay, and 2 days later I went home with everything okay, only that I went with medication. My blood pressure bado was uko juu, so I went home. So I have all insecurities you can never think of, not allowing my person to see the stitches and all that. I just felt, and after the experience, I just felt like, oh, I thank God, because I gave birth early in the morning. At that time, I had gone home to nap, so I even thanked God that He was not there to experience me doing that, because I know he would have wanted to be inside there. So I even thanked God that He was not there. He was not there. You guys, I I don't know. I just felt like it was too messy for a man to know to have his eyes on that thing. So I went home. So 1 week later, I'm having all insecurities that I don't want him to see. But this day, I feel like no, nothing is happening because I will touch with my hands. I'll touch and feel some spacing. So this day I shower, come sit on hot water because that's how you heal an episiotomy stitch anyway. So I come sit on hot water, dry myself up. So I'm planning to put on pads and all that. But I tell him I want you to hold the mirror for me because I want to see myself down there. And he tells me that there is something open there and we just have to go to the hospital because it's open. Oh my god, I wasn't scared at that point because you see, after the baby comes out, there's not much that happens. You actually forget about the pain and all that, and you feel okay after. So even if there are things being done, it's just uncomfortable but not as painful as before the baby was out. So I didn't have any bad experience apart from the pushing and the labor pains. So we decided to go back to the gynecologist because we were supposed to go back after 2 weeks, but we opted to go just that week. Actually, that day he saw it in the morning, and after like 1 hour, we just decided to go. So we went to the hospital. We went to the gynecologist, and I'm there spreading my legs with tension. Me, mean attention. There are so many things that trigger other things personally for me. So just on seeing the hospital and the gynecologist office tell me why I was not bleeding, but just being told to lay on that bed, damu ikaanza afresh, like I bled mpaka waka change sheets, wakakuja na zingine. He will not even handle me kidogo kidogo, kaniambia and aliona kufanya. It was not bad, but it was bleeding. You see, like the bleeding, like the lochia, it's called the lochia, reduces with the time. The type of lochia I had immediately after I gave birth is different from that one that I'll have after 2 weeks, and pia the amount, the consistency, and the color. So he was like, hata kama hiyo damu ni mingi, but hii kitu si mbaya hivyo. And then there was a person mwenye ameingia tu previously akaniambia hii yako hata si mbaya kama ya mtu ametoka hapa. So I had a little bit of hopes, and then he went ahead telling my person, come and see, and like if it's not going to be healed after he does what he was going to do, some interventions he was going to do, I'll come and he stitches it again. Let me tell you now what he did that broke me apart. So he says, oh, I'll just give you some medicine, but there's a string hanging. By the way, ushaiona vile wewe ushonanga nguo like this unaingiza and then unavuta uzi so that hapo hivyo kwenye umeshona kuna kuwa tight. It's the same way. So it was loose, that's why kulikuwa kuna kaa hivi. So he akavuruta ka string hapo chini, and then he cut the string so that it won't give me infections. You know, by hanging there, I'll pee, I'll do what. So akakata. But let me tell you guys, the moment he held that string, that was the last time I spoke that day. I never spoke again because tell me why it was so painful. It was so painful. I remember it was about like 1. And guys, trust me, I swear, I didn't talk. I didn't hold the baby any other time. So my person is here trying to talk to me, and I'm not talking. Like, I didn't even give him a word. I didn't say anything else that day. That is the last time I spoke. Huh? Yani, people talk of giving birth, and I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't mean to scare you, actually. I feel like if you're able to give birth through the normal way, that's actually the best way. But you guys, it's not a joke. It's usually not a joke. So I went back home, didn't talk to anyone, but luckily I was given medicine. So he told me it cannot be stitched again, because when a wound passes 24 hours, nothing can be done to it again. And I agreed, because I also had one on my finger, and the same happened. I was not stitched, it healed like an open wound. So he gave me antibiotics to just prevent infections from coming out. There you see there is blood, there is any, think of any sort of thing. So, and I was supposed to sit for water for other 7 days, and then stop from there and continue drinking those medicines. So one was a dose of, to stop me from bleeding excessively, because I was, and the other one was to prevent infections, and another one was for drying the wound. And so luckily, after 1 week, I had hopes. Yeah, I had hopes. And now I even allowed my person to be looking at it like openly. So he'd look at it and he will tell me how I'm progressing, and that was the case. So coming to, by the time I was actually going for clinic, now after 6 weeks, my first baby's clinic, I was well, and it healed perfectly, but it used to be painful. So these two also cut the notion that you can be healed after 6 weeks. Like 6 weeks, just 6 weeks, nothing in a kwanka may happen apple. So if you're planning if you're planning to give birth like normally, just have that in mind. It's not necessarily that after 6 weeks utakuwa sawa, like utakuwa umepona. I don't guarantee you that, because personally it took me so long. And apart from me kuacha kubleed sana sana, because now the wound ilikuwa imeheal, imedry nini, I was able not to get any kind of infection, yani from the surrounding, not at infection ingine, just from the microorganisms surroundings evil. I was able not to get one. I was still bleeding, but mild bleeding. It used to happen. It used to come once in a while. I'll even be okay like for 4 days, and then it comes back. It shows back again. So I remember during the first, like the last 2 weeks, the last 1 week, me and my person had tried getting this, like doing that thing, and it failed because my hormones were up there. And he was like, yani umesema nitakuona tu December, because that was the beginning of September. Yeah, so amesema yani unataka like niko have September. Like he was so understanding, and that is one thing, like mimi, yani I've just come to appreciate. I mean, if you're out there and you're looking for a lifetime partner, just, I feel wewe pata ule mtu mwenye anaweza get that na wewe, cause I feel like he was extra empathetic. He will get in, he never tried to give me like pressure, like, oh, sasa unajua utakaa miezi 3 kama ngapi kama ujapona, and then I'll be suffering here. He was so empathetic, and he will understand me, even that, because I'll give it myself, but I will even not have the slightest of even getting close to, how you get like wetty, and now you're ready for that my hormones were up there. I could not even have anything of that sort, and I was trying. So he was so empathetic, and I felt like, hey, that's when you appreciate the person you're having at that moment. Because yo, if it was another ass, trust me, someone else was out there looking for someone else. Because yo, that time was a lot. So imagine, it was like 2 weeks before then, 2 weeks before I gave birth, no touching, no nini, and now I've given birth. I've stayed for 6 weeks, no nothing. And funny enough, I feel like we used to talk about this, and I felt like we used to talk about this before I gave birth, and I also put it in my prayers, like during that course, I just want you, God, to be with him. I understand him as a human being. I understand that is his, primary need as a man. I used to pray for all those things, and I just told God, just hold him down for that moment, and he was patient. I don't remember any day he ever came to bed, and he will be home very early to just come and help me with the baby and tell me, go sleep, go. Like, he will come so early, and I don't remember any day he told me, can I check you, or are you healed, can you do it? I don't remember. I'm actually the one who felt like, oh, nilipona kijana, like, why don't you ever ask for it, nilipona? But on trying it, it was impossible. Like, I could still feel pain. And then he told me, no, I'm okay, I'm waiting for you, like, you see. Like, I remember those words, because they just put a stamp on my mind, and I felt so good, I felt so blessed. He just taught me that like, tuko kwa marriage, and if siezi take you down through this season, then I don't understand what tunaweza kuwa tukifanya. Like, if siezi kuwait for this season, I don't understand naweza kuwait for any other season gani. Which at the back of my mind is somehow true. Personally, I felt like kama nimemtesa, and like I'm overdoing, because you see, pia mind zetu kama madem pia kuheal inaanza from mind. But honestly, I used to feel pain. So he told me, I'm okay waiting for you until you're okay, until you fine, until you all that. And oh my God, I'm so blessed. That is, hey, now is one thing I thank God for. I'm so blessed, and I don't take that for granted, and I respect him, and I honor him with all that I am, because yeah, he shows me, like, literally how, like, his love for God is showed to how he does things for me, his sacrifices and all that. So that made me feel so good, you guys. So on the aspect, I meant so I was speaking about the aspect of healing. It's not necessarily 6 weeks at yuko sawa. It will take you even more days. So many things will happen, and you're not okay even with those 6 weeks. I remember I gave birth in September, and I think I gave birth in September. The first time we tried was around January, because I remember during December we kind of tried, and it was impossible, and he told me, no, I have it also. So up after deck, now that's when I felt like, no, I'm good to go. You see, pia, like, with rudi to normally, you have to try, you have to. And pia kuna hiyo ikiheal bado unasikianga like kinda dhidi, you don't want it to be touched, you don't want people around there. So yeah, so if you're planning to give birth normally, it's nice, it's okay, you still go about your business normally, but remember, there are things you're gonna pay for, like here. And then on that video that I've mentioned, I made earlier, I just felt that I wouldn't underestimate the power of praying for a good partner. Like, a good partner. I like to talk about him as a good partner for this moment that we're living, because I don't want to talk about tomorrow. I don't want to talk about things that will face us tomorrow, and I see him like he's not a good partner. I'm not looking to see him like a person who's not made in the image of God and start diminishing him or something, or putting him down, or thinking about what he'll do to me and he'll not be a perfect man for me, then I'm talking about how I experience him right now. I feel like that one thing people underestimate, and people feel like it's their choice to look for a good partner and all that, but I feel like it's God given, because it's such a moment that calls you to be so vulnerable. You just have to be there, and you just have to be with a person who understands you, who makes you feel better, who makes you feel content and all that. So me, like, I'm just looking out for you guys. So if you're looking for a person, just look for a person who loves God, a person who is willing. And it just, okay, me, if I tell you to look for, you might even look for the wrong person, but just pray for a good partner. It really goes a long way. Just pray for that. God is so genuine, God is so great, God is so good. He answers prayers and he'll give you that. So that's the only thing I intended to say. That's my story time, my episiotomy healing journey, and I just pray that you'll listen and you love to hear this story. So until next time, bye bye. By the way, I have a video uploading. You can follow me on Instagram at prettyx2022. You can also follow me on TikTok at Koi Creatives. That's how I present myself on those socials. And until next time, that's bye.